Here's what happened. Americans wanted a faster horse. So we built them a car.
Cars began coming off the assembly line at the rate of 1 every 40 seconds.
Then they needed a car that worked harder than a car. So we built something else. The truck. Americans said, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And they used our trucks to build interstates.
The nation has become swift and mobile.
And families. And communities. And industries. Americans used these trucks to build livelihoods and neighborhoods. And in their spare time, tow really heavy things. Americans needed vehicles worthy of who they are and what they can do. So, we built their trucks.
I hope Carissa Jones' legacy is passion. I hope you can see now that I have a lot of passion in what I do and what I talk about. And if you don't have passion, that fire in your belly in what you're doing every day, then something's missing. And you need to really seek that out. Passion. Passion is where it's at.
I wish I could hear what they're going to say at my funeral, because it's probably going to be pretty funny. I really don't know. I think all these kids that we've had for the last, I don't know, 8 or 10 years, that I've taught them things that, you know, I was never taught. But I think the greatest thing that I could leave these guys, or that I'm going to leave, is that common sense is the greatest gift in the world. And if you have that, you've already overcome 80% of your problems. And to do that, you have to be very, very special. And that's an elite group.
So my mission in life is to give hope and inspiration to those who are living in darkness. And I want to be remembered for that. I want to be remembered for the value that I've added to someone's life, or the impact that I've made on their life.
I hope mine's by design, but I'll take the fault. I hope that my legacy is that I left the world a better place than I found it. That I actually influenced some young people and made their life easier and better. Maybe planted some seeds of ideas that helped them reach their goals. But the main thing is I would like to leave the world a better place than I found it.
You know, some people do well for themselves in life, financially, politically, socially. Some people do good in life. They support others, they help other people accomplish their goals, they take care of those who can't take care of themselves. I'd like to do both. I'd like to do as well as I can for myself and my family with the time and the resources I have. But I'd also like to do good along the way and support other people and the dreams they have, and help those who can't help themselves, be an encouragement to them and support them financially or otherwise. I think that's what good stewardship is all about. And along the way, maintaining and nurturing relationships, because I think at the end of the road, it's those relationships with people and the experiences we have with them that are truly important to us.
So I love, first of all, the word legacy is one of my favorite words, because I think it just encompasses so much. And I work in the nonprofit sector, and we talk a lot about legacies when it comes to planned giving, where people leave legacy gifts to nonprofits, so that they're able to continue giving even after their death. And so I think of legacy that way. How can you continue to make a difference long after you're gone? And that can be by modeling behaviors that other people will continue to model even after you're gone. It's to instill values and morals and ethics in people. And it's to, I think, also leave the place just a little bit better than the way you came into it. And I think if you can do those things, you will leave a legacy worth leaving.
You know, Aaron, I think my legacy is, I hope that I use my gifts and my abilities to be a servant leader, and that I was a model of God's truth and grace. It's kind of a motto I have, and that's pretty simple. And hopefully, you know, my legacy will be that.
I hope my legacy is one of giving. That's one of the things I've always tried to do since one of the things that my grandfather's father instilled in me was to always give back. And I've tried to do that at every facet of my life, you know, wherever I've done, whether I've been an ag teacher, I've worked for Houston Livestock Show, or been in the oil field business. I've always tried to be a volunteer somewhere in youth organizations to where you're helping youth become better people. Because guys, the youth of today are our future leaders of tomorrow. So I think it is important that we do things to help develop them. But also, as I talked about, from that mentorship and learning, you can learn a lot from youth as well as adults. But I think that I would hope that my legacy is one that I gave all I could, and I was a good person.
I am definitely leaving a legacy for other businesswomen. My passion is creating business people, but especially creating businesswomen, and giving them the opportunity to be in the room with C-suite executives and to do things that they're typically not allowed to do at other organizations. So that's my legacy. I will leave behind a company. I will also leave behind a company that thrives and is operationally sound, and will probably have a woman at the helm of it. But I also leave for my children, I think, the qualities of leadership and curiosity and storytelling and laughter and joy and all of these wonderful things that have been part of this journey as an entrepreneur. So that's legacy by design. Legacy by default is just not thinking about that, and sadly there's some unfortunate things that can come from not being intentional about it.
I love that. First off, it's kind of this yin and the yang, right? It's the Hitler and Frank, if you will. I hope that my legacy, my dad when I was about 8 years old, 7, 8, 9, still my hero to this day, said, son, we were actually chopping wood, which is analogous to this. We were chopping wood and I didn't pick up an axe. And I walked back in the house to do something, and he came and grabbed me by the ear, most likely, and he said, son, never leave the wood stack shorter when you came than when you, never, you're going to have to edit that. Never leave the wood stack shorter when you came than when you left. There you go. Never leave the wood stack shorter when you came than you, oh my gosh, what's that one? You know what that is, right? Never leave he said this, never leave the wood, yeah, always leave the, okay. My dad always said, always leave the wood stack taller when you leave than when you arrived. And I've always just felt like if I could continue to pour into my family, my friends, my professional life, my career, all those sorts of things, that the legacy will follow.
It's a great question. We probably all should think about that more. It might affect our actions. I think my legacy will be, I hope that the people that I've touched, the places that I've been, I've left a positive impact on them, and that would be the best legacy I could think of.
Well, I hope I leave a legacy by design, and I hope that Professionally, I leave the world a brighter place, a better place, that in some way the job that I'm in, whether that's the same job I'm in today or down the road, that I've touched lives and been a part of something bigger in the world. And personally, I hope that I leave my family and my friends and my colleagues and my children and my husband and my parents with love and grace and happiness and a little laughter. And Aaron, this is a question that will make you cry.
I really hope that it was that I gave back. A few years ago I realized that it doesn't matter what you achieve in life, it doesn't matter how successful you are, how much wealth you create, if you aren't able to give back and feel like you have done something that made a difference in people's lives. And it doesn't have to be monetary. Giving back time, giving back in a lot of ways. It doesn't have to be monetary, but there are so many ways and there's so many things that experience can help other people with. I hope that it's recognized that, some people say that you spend the first half of your life creating and growing in a career, and you should spend the second half of your life figuring out how to give back. And I'm a true believer that now that I'm in that second phase, it's all about giving back and making a difference that way.
Well, I would hope that it is by design, that I leave a legacy behind for, one, not only my younger sibling and my niece and nephew to be able to beat that legacy, but also to just leave people like that need some type of inspiration or just some type of compass to be able to be guided to something better. So we always want to leave things better than when we left them. We want to make sure that people that are behind us are better than what we were. So.
My legacy will be the fact that as people watch me go through, and they even say it now, even after close to 45 years, my legacy will be my love for agriculture in every sense of the word. Not only that, it will also be that we say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, I'm almost the epitome of that. Young people are just so inspiring to me, and to be able to give back and help pull somebody else into my space, into the agriculture space, is just so important. That legacy will be there, and I'm told all the time that what you're doing today will be here for years and years and years to come. And I can say that because I reflect back to my ag teachers, and their legacy continues to live on, and it lives in people, and it goes from generation to generation.